1984. The rally professionals and drift artists Hanno Mikkola, Walter Röhrl, Björn Voldegaard, Marco Allen and the rally Amazon Michel Mouton fighting fiercely in Europe and Africa for the World Championship title. The Terminator, one of the best science fiction films at the time, caused a sensation in movie theaters. In the leading role, Arnold Schwarzenegger. With a 2-0 win over Spain, France wins the European Football Championship for the first time. The British-American rock band Foreigner storms into the charts with their hit, I Wanna Know What Love Is. Apple co-founder Steve Jobs introduces the first Macintosh, or Mac for short. Within the first 100 days, 70,000 Macs are sold. We will tell you about a group of sportsmen and women who like to travel. All nice, decent people. Only one should not put a steering wheel in their hand. Someone new has joined the team, for whom driving an all-wheel drive is still strange. Walter Röhrl. He said he is a learner driver. He has to learn first. He would like to drive for the team with someone who can already do that. Stig Blomqvist can do it, no question about that. In January, and time to practice, because people who want to achieve something in the Monte Carlo Rally should at least bring some basic knowledge. Röhrl was a good pupil and a worthy opponent to the great Stig Blomqvist from the beginning. On roads which they both like equally, snow and ice with all intermediate shades. Under these conditions, Team Audi doesn't have any real opponents. Everything centers around the eternal showdown, which Röhrl leads. When asked what he thought about this surprising and fantastic situation, Röhrl responded with his kind of enthusiastic outburst.
Wow, man. If you have no experience, this is a bad thing. Talk again to the Michelin people, and especially with what Stig says. He knows best.
One can understand him. As long as you still have a man like Stig Blomqvist breathing down your neck, it's not easy to be cheerful. What the legend of last night's Monte Carlo is worth today can be easily checked. This open-air motor racing museum awakens each year from its summer sleep. It remains the same, also in the morning. Walter Röhrl leads Stig Blomqvist and Hanno Mikkola, 3 times Quattro, and humility, as we know, is a virtue.
Despite this, every 20th corner doesn't work, and that's why I'm not happy. Because normally I drive 5,000 kilometer rallies and 2 corners don't work, and here I have to practice still.
Recent victory for the Quattros in the Swedish rally. Stig Blomqvist in front of Michel Mouton. Portugal's fans need to be close to the spectacle. They find the sport in a beautiful, sensual way that would make us scared. For someone Portuguese, that is normal. Where the action is, that's where I am too. Later, it turned out that Portugal brought the best and closest duel of the year. Lancia against Audi. Marco Allen against Hannu Mikkola. In full dignity and above all, in full force of his reign, he is the world champion. Hannu Mikkola, Marco Allen. Since 12 years, these two have met time and again, remarkably often in Portugal, which for two Finns has to be very neutral ground. The fans make a campfire for breakfast. They have followed the rally through the night, have come from the north during the night and taken a position for the ultimate special in the Arganil Mountains. The special test will be broadcast live on the radio. Of course, every little group of spectators has a radio. They are split times and suddenly rally is as clear as football, where you know that when one scores more goals than the other, then they win. It is Hannu Mikkola's day. He is 4 seconds faster. Dust is the enemy of the winner. At the front, Mikkola. Now finally without dust. Last chance for Marco Allen. Lancia parks 2 of its cars right after the start of the last special test. The audience is perplexed, does not know what's happening. It's to let Marco Allen have a completely dust-free ride. The clear view in this case, however, only allows a clear view of the victors. Hannu Mikkola and Arne Hertz. Safari Rally in Kenya, the perfect technology of motorsports. Turbo, compressor, lightweight construction, and all-wheel drive is applied to the savannah and all the surprises and uncertainties of the country. The task is so absurd that the banality of being in the wrong place at the wrong time can be seen again. The great enemy of the Audi team is called Björn Voldegard this time. The leader in this rally are all family fathers over 40. Aaltonen, Mikkola, Voldegard. The rigors of travel in a foreign country are not too unpleasant for them. More likely they suffer from their impatience. He was only going at 210, complained one, and the others would drive at 220 on these sand and gravel roads. That is really annoying. Three classic rallyists, Raunen Aaltonen, Björn Voldegard, and Hannu Mikkola, complete the final act of this safari in free improvisation. Waldegaard secures the final place, and the Audi team places itself somewhat further back this time. Sympathy from well-wishers. New enemies, new tensions, new honors, new friends, new fans, and behind it, an entire nation for which that is not indifferent. The Team Peugeot introduces itself in Corsica. The 205 Turbo 16 is a pure racing machine, uncompromisingly designed for the demands of the sport. And the drivers are Ari Vatanen of Finland and the Frenchman Jean-Pierre Nicolas. Audi team boss Ronald Gumpert reports on the special test times of the new opponents and knows that life in the coming months and years will be a bit more difficult again. It's nice that everything is dynamic. It motivates the engineers. It motivates the drivers. Peugeot has a strong presence, but also a grand exit. Lancia wins for the first time this year. Markku Alén with Ika Kivimäki. The island is peaceful again, and the representatives of the wool industry continue their discussions. The rally troop has now moved to Greece. Audi enters the entire team for the first time this year. This means Michel Mouton, Arne Hertz, Stig Blomqvist, Christian Geisdörfer, Walter Röhrl, Hanno Mikkola, Björn Cederberg, Fabrizia Pons, and team boss Ronald Gumpert. Audi also presents a new car, the Quattro Sport, popularly called the Short One, and Walter Röhrl is the driver. 460 horsepower give the Quattro Sport an adventurous acceleration of 3.5 seconds from 0 to 100. The rally machine of the future. The Acropolis Rally has still retained the character of a marathon from the old days. However, since the birth of modern technology, under extreme conditions, only those win who go at sprint speed over the whole distance. The drivers ascend on an exploration trip to the limits of their bodies. Markku Alén, the great opponent from Team Lancia, and Henri Toivonen. Stig Blomqvist wins in Greece, and the Krakos drive as World Cup leaders to New Zealand. New Zealand. In many ways, this is the most beautiful rally in the world. World Cup is not an empty word. From New Zealand to Argentina, a brush fire helps all on their way. And some spectators' cars play a hasty special test. The finish is in Cordoba, in that stadium where the match between Germany versus Austria took place during the World Cup, where the Austrian reporter described the winning goal of his team at that time in his own special way. This time the Swedes win the match. Blomqvist, Cederberg. Finland, 1,000 lakes. This is the roller coaster of rally racing. Three men distinguish themselves as the definitive gold ace acrobats. Ari Vatanen in Peugeot, Hannu Mikkola in Quattro, Marco Allen in Lancia. Walter Röhrl is good friends with his body. That's why he can persuade it to make surprising movements. And it looks as if the two can do everything, as long as it is fun for them both. Sanremo, in the meantime, is Europe's most attractive rally, and the short Quattro refreshes the audience with optics and acoustics. The love of the Italian fans is so great that they seek the spirit of motor racing with the body. And when a jewel of Italian craftsmanship rolls over the last meters in resignation, the pain is also deeply felt at the roadside. at the time when Audi had already established itself as brand world champion. Opponents Vatanen and Harriman win the San Remo Rally and enjoy their fast mode of thinking. The season is indefinitely long. Stig Blomqvist still needs to ensure his personal triumph. The World Championship for drivers travels to the Ivory Coast. Blomqvist drives the Quattro Sport to its first victory in a World Championship rally. He wins for the 5th time this year. This is a new world record. He finally becomes champion.
Mile route, 70 special stages through forests.
The match is over. Both world championships are won. There, even an event so incredibly popular as the British RAC Rally becomes a compulsory exercise. A few million Britons are still there, however.
Should burst over the horizon and come up to the hairpin. There'll be another one in a minute into a little thing. Water judges, of course, but a little unpredictable. Very, very quickly. What count this Toyota driver going to do on the Toyota stage? You know, this is my
The show is always good, and the scenes belong to the best of the best.
I would think on intermediate tyres, the tyre choice.
Blomqvist is the champion, and the whole team has brought home the big double for Audi. It's nice that when people are traveling so much, that they also bring something attractive home.